Officer Delgado held up the iPhone 17 like it was a murder weapon. "Sir, this device has been reported stolen," he said in a tone that suggested he'd rather be anywhere else. I blinked. My 14-year-old son Milo blinked. The only person not blinking was Marlene Krause, HOA president of Whispering Cedars and apparently the new self-declared owner of Milo's phone. "That's my iPhone," she shrieked from across the driveway, dressed in a full tennis outfit despite having never seen a court. "He took it from my mailbox." Milo looked at me like he was being pranked by NPR. The cop sighed deeply. "Do you have a receipt?" he asked, clearly hoping someone would produce something to end this circus. Milo pulled a wrinkled Target printout from his hoodie like a magician revealing a dove. And that's when things got really weird. Let me back up a week to explain how we ended up with 2 squad cars in my driveway on a Tuesday morning. Our story starts in Whispering Cedars, a suburban sprawl so aggressively landscaped that even the squirrels look like they've had work done. I'm Henry Blaine, 41 years old, a civil engineer and divorcee who just wanted peace, privacy, and enough driveway space for my car and my kid's basketball hoop. Enter Marlene Krause, HOA president, self-appointed tech sleuth, and a woman who once issued a formal warning for what she called a rebellious garden gnome. I was content to ignore her clipboard crusades until the iPhone 17 came out. Milo got the iPhone 17 as a joint birthday and please stop growing gift. He loved it immediately. Used it to film skate tricks, FaceTime with his mom, and document just how many squirrels in Whispering Cedars were unnaturally ripped. The kid had a theory about steroids in the bird feeders that was honestly starting to make sense. 3 days after the phone arrived, Marlene began circling like a seagull with legal authority. First came the letter slipped under my door. Unauthorized consumer electronics displayed publicly Section 9C, it read. Devices with reflective surfaces are considered potential traffic distractions. I thought it was a joke until the second notice arrived the next day. Then came the photos, grainy zoom-ins of Milo using the phone in our own front yard. She'd been photographing my son from her bedroom window with what looked like a telephoto lens. And finally, on day 5, Marlene showed up at my door wearing latex gloves and a lanyard that just said verified in all caps. "I saw it in your mailbox, Henry," she announced with the confidence of someone who'd never been wrong about anything. "That phone was for me. I pre-ordered it in May. Your little delinquent stole it." She emphasized the word stole like she was auditioning for a crime drama. Then she informed me she'd already filed a police report and stormed off, her tennis skirt swishing with righteous indignation. The cops arrived the next morning, 2 squad cars and a bored-looking community liaison who clearly drew the short straw. Marlene had provided what she called surveillance footage, which turned out to be a blurry Nest Cam video of the UPS guy putting the package on my porch. She insisted it was her porch. Claimed the lot numbers had been swapped in what she called a recent HOA redistricting. Nobody could remember any redistricting happening, but Marlene spoke with such authority that Officer Delgado began taking it seriously. That's when she produced what she claimed was a tracking slip. Except when I looked closer, it was a CVS receipt for glucose chews with the words iPhone 17 confiscation order scribbled in Sharpie across the top. The officer squinted at it, then at her, then back at the receipt. I'd dealt with fraudulent engineering claims for years, so I knew how to handle this. I calmly invited them inside, making sure to speak in my most professional voice. From my filing cabinet, I pulled out the purchase receipt from Target, dated 2 weeks prior. Then the UPS confirmation email showing delivery to my exact address. And for the grand finale, I pulled up a video on my laptop of Milo unboxing the phone next to our mailbox, with our house number clearly visible in the background. "Oh look," I said with just enough sarcasm to season the moment. "Our actual address. Wild, right?" Officer Delgado gave Marlene a look that could blister paint off a fence. "Ma'am," he said slowly, like he was explaining something to a toddler, "filing a false police report is a criminal offense. Turns out, falsely reporting a theft is a big deal. Even bigger when you falsely accuse a minor." Within 24 hours, Marlene was slapped with a citation, ordered to attend a hearing, and placed under temporary HOA investigation. That's when the neighbors began talking. Really talking. Not just the polite weather conversation we usually had, but actual stories about Marlene's reign of terror. Turns out she had confiscated packages before. An Amazon Echo from the Johnsons, which she claimed was a noise violation waiting to happen. A smart toaster from the elderly couple in Unit 12, because she insisted smart appliances weren't covered in the HOA bylaws. And once, allegedly, a set of matching bamboo sheets she swore were hers because she had dreamt about them the night before. The HOA vice president, a retired IT guy named Leonard who usually stayed out of drama, called an emergency board meeting. I wasn't there, but I heard from 3 different sources that it was brutal. Marlene tried to defend herself by claiming she had a heightened sense of package awareness that allowed her to know when deliveries were meant for her. The board wasn't buying it. She was suspended indefinitely, effective immediately. Her clipboard was physically taken away by Leonard himself, who I'm told handled it like hazmat material. But Marlene wasn't done yet. She tried to save face with a long-winded apology on the HOA Facebook page that somehow made everything worse. She blamed her confusion on urban Wi-Fi interference and something she called empathic downloading, which she claimed was a real condition she'd read about on a wellness blog. The post went on for 3 paragraphs about how modern technology creates false memories and how she was actually the victim here. She ended by asking if anyone had seen her Fitbit, which she claimed may have walked off her wrist due to the same electromagnetic interference that caused the iPhone mix-up. That post went viral within our little HOA community. Hundreds of comments poured in, half from residents sharing their own Marlene confiscation stories. The woman from Unit 7 said Marlene once tried to claim a KitchenAid mixer off her porch because red was Marlene's signature color. Milo, being a teenager with video editing skills and too much free time, created a TikTok mockumentary titled Karen vs. iPhone 17 The Suburban Saga. He used our Roomba as a stand-in for Marlene, complete with a blonde wig and oversized sunglasses taped to it. The video showed the Roomba aggressively bumping into an iPhone box while dramatic music played. The thing hit 2.3 million views in a week. Comments poured in from people sharing their own HOA horror stories. Someone even started a hashtag, Marlene the Mailbox Menace, which trended briefly in our state. Target's social media team noticed the viral video and reached out to Milo with a sponsorship offer. My kid was getting paid to make fun of the woman who tried to steal his phone. The irony was delicious. Meanwhile, Marlene's legal troubles were mounting. The false police report charge came with mandatory community service and a fine. But that wasn't the worst part. During the HOA investigation, they discovered she'd been using HOA funds to purchase surveillance equipment for her personal package monitoring system. She'd bought 7 hidden cameras with community money, all to watch other people's porches. The final board meeting was held on a Thursday evening. I attended this one, along with what seemed like half the neighborhood. Marlene sat in the front row, still wearing her verified lanyard like it meant something. Leonard read out the findings in a monotone voice that somehow made everything sound worse. Misuse of HOA funds. Harassment of multiple residents. Filing false police reports. Creating a hostile living environment. The list went on for 5 minutes. When he finished, he called for a vote on her permanent removal from the board. The vote was unanimous. Every single hand went up except Marlene's. She stood up, her face cycling through colors I didn't know human skin could achieve. "You're all making a huge mistake," she said, her voice shaking with rage. "Without me, this neighborhood will descend into chaos. Packages everywhere. Unauthorized smartphones. Garden gnomes doing whatever they want." But the decision was final. Marlene was officially removed from her position, permanently banned from any HOA leadership role, and here's the kicker, prohibited from receiving any package deliveries to her home address for a full calendar year. The board had arranged for her to use a P.O. box in a different zip code, 20 minutes away. The criminal charges resulted in $5,000 in fines plus court costs. When the judge read the amount, Marlene's jaw dropped so far I thought it might hit the courtroom floor. $5,000, she gasped, clutching her designer purse like it might run away from her. Her voice went up 3 octaves as she repeated the amount, each word dripping with complete disbelief.